Today I'm going to show you how to make this amazing honey white loaf. Let's get started. Hey y'all, welcome to Robyn on the Farm. Today I am craving some honey white bread. So that's what I'm going to be making today. I'm going to make a loaf of honey white bread in my bread machine. One of the coolest things about making your own bread is that you have complete control over all of the ingredients that you put into it. And when you choose to use honey instead of sugar in your bread, then you get to keep your bread free of any refined sugars. Sometimes honey white bread calls for just a little bit of honey that replaces the sugar, but this honey white bread has a little bit more honey in it because I really love the flavor of it. The recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of hot water. Just turn your tap all the way to hot and let it run for a minute and then put it in. A 1/2 cup of milk. I always use raw cow or goat milk, but use whatever kind of milk you have. 2 tablespoons of melted butter. You could also use 2 tablespoons of any kind of oil that you want. The important thing is to get 2 tablespoons of some kind of fat in it. Okay, now you need 1/3 of a cup of honey. This is where the flavor is going to come from. 1/3 of a cup of honey. Just pour that on in. You can use whatever kind of honey you want, but just remember that the different varieties of honey will kind of change the flavor of your bread a little bit. There's sourwood honey that's kind of sour and bitter, and then there's varieties like clover or wildflower that's a lot more sweet. But just use whatever kind of honey you want, 1/3 of a cup. And we need 4 cups of flour. I'm going to use bread flour. You can use all-purpose flour. The bread flour just has more protein in it. You'll get a little bit better rise out of your bread, but you can use all-purpose flour just fine. So 4 cups of flour. Just scoop it in and put it in your bowl. Okay, next you're going to need 1½ teaspoons of salt. Okay, and our last ingredient is yeast. This is my yeast I just pulled out of the freezer. It's ready to go. So you're going to need 2 teaspoons of yeast. Okay. And that's it. That's all of our ingredients. That's super simple. Okay, now that they're all in the bread pan, I'm going to go ahead and put it in my bread maker. This is my trusted bread maker of years and years that's made hundreds and hundreds of loaves of bread for me. I'm just going to put it on the basic white. I like light crust, and I'm going to press start. And that's all there is to it. In about 3 hours, this bread will be ready, and I will let you see it at that point. Take a peek at your dough when it first gets going and kind of use a spatula and kind of get around the edges. Just make sure everything comes together really nicely. The amazing thing about the bread machine is that it does all the hard work for us. I just love it. Makes me so happy. Okay, I just walked into my house. My house smells like homemade bread and honey. So it smells really good. So I know this bread is going to taste good. Oh, it looks perfect. Look at that. It has a good rise, has a beautiful color. This looks really, really good. Look at that. Oh, so pretty. You do normally want to wait until your bread is cooled a little bit to get the best crumb out of it, but sometimes you just have to dig in and not wait. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut another slice and try this one. Look at that. And after it cools, it's going to cut even better. Look at that. Isn't that a pretty slice of bread? It is. It is a pretty slice of bread. And I wish you could feel it because it's soft, it's light, and it smells just so good. Okay. I'm going to taste test this. You see that? Oh, so good. It has this great honey flavor that just makes it a little bit different, a little more special than regular bread. So I encourage you to try it if you haven't tried it. As you see, it turns out amazing in the bread machine. This bread makes amazing sandwich bread. It's perfect for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, peanut butter and banana sandwiches, just some toast with some butter and some jam on it. You can't go wrong with that. I used to use Ziploc bags to store my bread, and now I use these real bread bags that are just plastic bread bags, but it makes it so much easier to get into your bread and use it. So let me just show you how I store my bread. Once your bread is cooled, just stick it in the bag. Don't want to put it in there too early though, because if it's kind of warm, it'll get like condensation all over it and kind of make it a little soggy. So just put it in there, press the air out of it, twist it, get one of the twist ties, twist it around, and there we go. That's how it's going to sit on my counter until tonight when it's all gone. If you enjoyed this video and you got anything out of it, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. I would love to see your comment. And I will see you next time on Robyn on the Farm. I've been using these bread bags for the last several years, and I really like them. They keep our bread nice and fresh, and when I give away bread as gifts, they really make for a pretty presentation. I'll put the Amazon link below in case you're interested.